Hey dreamers, you guys know we love Universal. Well, today we're gonna share our favorite tips, tricks, and hacks for a Universal Orlando vacation. Are you guys ready to ride some rides and have some fun? Tip is a shortcut to get from Universal CityWalk to Universal Studios. We love cutting through the surf shop at CityWalk. The shortcut avoids the crowds, plus it's air conditioning, so you kind of get a little bit of a cool down as you're walking through the store. You also may find something fun to buy as you're walking through this shortcut. This is actually my favorite store at Universal CityWalk. Our next tip is another shortcut to get to Universal Studios. The front entrance to Universal Studios Park can get really busy. Did you know there's a secret entrance to Universal Studios next to the entrance of Blue Man Group? Well, there is. We love to use this entrance to avoid the crowds at the front entrance. Plus, we use this entrance as we leave Universal Studios to go home or to kind of cut through and grab a quick bite at Universal CityWalk. The number one question we get asked about visiting Orlando is, where can we buy our theme park tickets? Yep, that is our number one question we are asked. With Universal Orlando, you want to pre-order your tickets. You will actually save money if you order your tickets before you leave home. You can click the eye in the sky and we will share our favorite local company to purchase your tickets to Universal Orlando parks. Now, besides saving money on your tickets, you actually can save time. This is the typical long line to buy tickets at Universal. You want to enjoy your time playing at the parks, not waiting in lines. There's a lot of rides at both Universal parks that have height requirements. Be sure you're familiar with these rides. You don't want any disappointed kids during your vacation. If you're not familiar with the height requirements, you can actually see a measuring stick at the front entrance to both Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure. We love the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, but it is a smaller area and can get very crowded. We recommend shopping outside of Wizarding World of Harry Potter. There are merchandise shops at the Universal Resorts, CityWalk, and throughout the parks filled with your favorite Harry Potter merchandise. This even includes our favorite souvenir, which is the Harry Potter wands. When visiting the Universal parks, be sure you bring a small bag or backpack. Many of the more popular rides at both Universal parks do not allow any items on the ride. Universal does provide free lockers next to the rides to keep your items safe. These lockers are very small, so make sure you bring a small bag or backpack with you at the theme parks. Our next hack for your Universal Orlando vacation is a time saver one. This one tip can save you a lot of time waiting in lines for your favorite rides. Universal Orlando has something called the virtual line. Download the Universal Orlando app to your smartphone. You can then click on the virtual line. This will allow you to make a reservation for a ride. When the time has arrived, you walk back to the virtual line at the ride and go right to the front of the line. Take advantage of the virtual line. It's a huge time saver. Another time saver found on the Universal Orlando app is the mobile ordering. You can order food right from your smartphone. I ordered my meal as I was waiting for a ride. Once I was done with the ride, I walked up to the restaurant, clicked my little button, and picked up my order. There was no one in line for the mobile ordering. This was over in the Simpsons area. The regular line, I am not kidding, it weaved in and out and in and out and literally went outside the restaurant. There must have been 50 people in line to order food. I literally walked right up to mobile ordering, picked up my food, and went and sat down. This tip can save you a lot of time and stress during your Universal Orlando vacation. the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal Orlando. In this video, we're only going to share a few tips and tricks. You can actually click the eye in the sky to watch a video with Hunter and myself filled with must-dos at Wizarding World of Harry Potter. For this video, one of our tips is purchase the interactive wand. This is an amazing souvenir for the kids. Plus, you have lots of fun performing the spells during your visit to Diagon Alley in Hogsmeade. We know that families with younger children may not be able to ride every ride at the Universal Orlando parks. Universal has something called Child Swap. Basically, the whole family waits in line for their favorite ride. When you get to the front of the line, just let the team member know that you want to do Child Swap. Half of the family will go ahead and get on the ride, and the rest of the family will go to an area called the Child Swap. This is actually a child swap room just for families. Once they are done with the ride, the parents or family members will swap out and the other part of the family gets to ride. We have a super simple hack for your time at the Universal parks. If you have the opportunity to go left or right, always go left. This includes the park or even a queue. Since more people are right-handed, more people tend to go to the right line. It's amazing, but it really does work and a little time saver for the Universal parks and even the other parks in Orlando. One of our favorite insider tips at Universal Studios is the immigration tour at Men in Black. The immigration tour is a free tour inside the ride called Men in Black. You get to go down into this private area and kind of wander around and even sign the immigration book. The tour is free. Just ask a team member at the front entrance to Men in Black. If they have enough team members working, they will take you on this tour. We love food at the Universal Orlando Resort, but the best food is actually at Universal CityWalk, which is outside the Universal theme parks. Most of the food at the Universal parks is quick services, so it's really fast food. If you go outside the parks, you can enjoy amazing restaurants like Cowfish, Hard Rock, Bread Box, and more. Since Universal parks are close to Universal CityWalk, it is a quick walk to get from the parks to Universal CityWalk for dining. If you're spending a few days at the Universal parks, we recommend staying at a Universal Orlando hotel. There are so many benefits to booking a Universal Orlando package at a Universal hotel. One perk is the early park admission. You get into the Wizarding World of Harry Potter in Hogsmeade 1 hour before the park opens to everybody else. This is an extra hour to play at the park for free. Another perk of staying at Royal Pacific, Hard Rock, or Portofino Bay Hotel is the Universal Express. If you stay at one of these hotels, the Universal Express is free. Talk about huge value. This can save you hundreds of dollars on your Universal vacation and hours and hours and hours of time waiting in line. For Universal Express, you basically use your room key to gain front of the line access on rides and attractions at the Universal parks. You can click the eye in the sky for more information about booking a Universal Orlando hotel or package. I know I mentioned our hack about dining outside the parks at Universal CityWalk. There is one exception to that rule. We love the restaurant at Islands of Adventure called Mythos. This restaurant is a hidden gem. It is tucked away inside the Lost Continent, and this restaurant was actually one of the locations on Tim's team when he helped build Islands of Adventure. It is such a cool restaurant with a spectacular view of Islands of Adventure. And the food is delicious too. Our next hack is kind of a funny one. Bring ponchos during your time at Universal Orlando, even if there's 0 chance of rain. Yep, I did say that correctly. There are a lot of rides at the Universal parks that involve water. You will not get a little wet, you will get so soaked. Many of the rides will allow you to wear a poncho. This will keep you a little dry during your day of fun. Do you take a lot of pictures during your vacation? If you do, sign up for the Universal Photo Connect. This is a fun way to capture pictures throughout the parks and even on some of the rides. One of our favorite spots for Photo Connect is actually Jurassic Park. Watch out for that T-Rex. For one set price, you get unlimited pictures during your vacation. You can scan your Photo Connect card and all of your pictures will be stored online under your account. Then when you get home, you can download them to your phone or computer to share. Another fun hack for younger ones in your family is in Jurassic Park. We love the Discovery Center. This is an air-conditioned building with lots of activities for the younger children. Downstairs, they even have a dinosaur nursery. You can see the dino eggs as they get ready to hatch. While you're down at the nursery, ask a team member if you can name one of the dinosaurs. If an egg is ready to hatch, you may be able to name the dinosaur. If you do get to name a dino, they will record your name and even give you a birth certificate. It's a fun souvenir for the kids. What is pretty amazing about this experience, you can come back in the future and check up on your dinosaur. Just remember the date your dino was born and their name. The scientists in the nursery can actually look up your dinosaur and tell you their status. We have done this many times with our kids. Even as teenagers, we still went back recently and did it. It is pretty amazing. One of our easiest but toughest hacks to do on a vacation is get to the parks early. Now this tip is good for the Universal parks, Disney parks, and even SeaWorld Orlando. Always recommend getting to the parks at opening. You'll be amazed how much you can enjoy before the crowds actually hit. So even though you're on vacation, get up early and get to the parks. I know we talked about height requirements early. If there's a ride your child just cannot wait to ride, ask the team member about a ride certificate. Hunter is our little thrill seeker. She could not wait to ride Hulk at Islands of Adventure. At the time, she was not quite tall enough, so the team member gave her a certificate. It allowed her to come back at a later date when she was tall enough to actually ride the attraction. She would just show the certificate and she'd go right to the front of the line with her family. Now, Hunter did hang on to the certificate, posted it on her bulletin board, and finally, when she was tall enough, she redeemed the certificate for a ride on Hulk. This is a great way to build that excitement, even if your kids are not tall enough to ride their favorite ride. Our last big hack for Universal Orlando Resort is actually one of our favorites. As I mentioned earlier, we love the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. The main attraction that connects both Diagon Alley and Hogsmeade is the Hogwarts Express train. This is a ride that takes you between the parks. Now, you do need a park-to-park ticket to ride the Hogwarts Express because you're going between Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios. So keep that in mind when you're purchasing your tickets. Our little hack, ride this train in both directions. The show is actually quite different going from King's Cross to Hogsmeade as it is going from Hogsmeade to King's Cross. Be sure you ride in both directions. What did you guys think? Did you agree with our list of tips, tricks, and hacks? If we missed one that you guys used on your vacation, leave a comment below so we can share them with everybody. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time. Keep on dreaming. Bye! And as Hunter says, love you all.